Hello, and welcome to Joshua Ethics with me, Josh. This is a YouTube channel where we try and use logic, reasoning, and common sense to make sense of the world around us and work out what's going on. If you do like this sort of thing, please do like this video, please do subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll just go into it. So, what we're talking about today is going to be ginger jihads. Now, I'm nicknaming these gingehadis. Essentially, it's a bit of a unique phenomenon where ginger people convert to the religion of Islam and then start doing very naughty things. So, what we'll do is we'll just get into it. But before I do, just a quick disclosure. My mother is Scottish, and that means I have quite a few Scottish cousins. A few of them are ginger, which means there is a good chance that I do carry the ginger gene deep inside me. As you can tell, it's not evident. However, I've been to a GP, I've been to my priest, neither of them can help me. And then when my son was born, first thing I checked for was any ginger hair. He had none, just blue eyes and blonde hair. Anyway, so that's just a bit of disclosure. What I'm talking about, I might be a member of, so we'll just see. But otherwise, we'll get into it. So, first of all, what I'm going to have a quick look at is, what is a ginger? So, a ginger, very frankly, is a red-headed person. That's it. So ethnically, they usually derive from like Scotland and Ireland, best as I know. So obviously they are worldwide, but generally that's where you would originally find ginger people, of Gaelic origin. Now, this is an AI drawn image, so what you can't see in the eyes, even though I prompted the AI to do this, is the years of abuse and neglect held in there. Because essentially, no one knows why, but ginger people do get bullied. They get bullied because they're ginger. Usually it's just like a light-hearted ribbing. There was a ginger kid at our school. We called him Carrot Top every now and then. But usually it's just a bit of light-hearted fun. And they usually grow up to be well-adjusted people, but not all of them. Some of them get it a bit worse than others. And just like in my Radical Left video, go check it out. You can imagine somebody who grows up getting bullied for something that they can't control, usually might feel a bit ostracized from society, might feel like, they don't like their community, and just might be looking for a way to kind of get revenge or strike back at those who hurt them over the years. So that's sort of ginger people in a nutshell. Now, this video is mainly going to be aimed at ginger men, because there's no such thing as ginger women. No. They're called redheads, and they're hot. So, that's it really. You imagine growing up as a girl with red hair, you don't have the same sort of difficulties a ginger man might have, because, well, people like girls with red hair. Look at this girl. She's AI, but she's hot. In Ireland, I think they actually have a red hair festival, and you've got all these hot redhead girls walking around. It's awesome. So, yeah, not really talking about redhead girls today. We're talking about ginger boys. So, what I was going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick clip of a ginger person. Now, for those that don't know this guy, years ago, South Park did an episode about ginger people saying they don't have souls. They're saying that they can't actually go into the daylight without their skin burning, and those that could were called daywalkers. It was quite a funny episode. I was going to show you this guy's reaction, and he made a video about it.
Feelings. I like it doesn't, but it does really bad. Gingers have souls. I go to church. I'm a Christian. You don't know me. You're not God.
So you can imagine this guy went on to make loads of videos, and he got slated for it. But so that's the mindset of a ginger person. Okay, so you've got ginger people. Oh, and also I should mention, you imagine growing up being a ginger, probably hard to get a girlfriend, right? Because you're like that lower rung of the popularity ladder. The girls don't really want to date you because they'll probably get bullied for dating a ginger. So that's sort of what the mindset of a ginger person is. As I said, it's not all ginger people. Most of them are absolutely fine, but some of them not, like this fella. So imagine then, you're ginger. You've not had a very good childhood. You're probably not very. It's probably made you a bit of an antisocial person. And then along comes this religion called Islam, and it decides actually it can give you all the things that you've ever wanted in life. All you have to do is join Islam. So now we're going to talk about that. But before we kind of people get a bit scared and clutch their pearls, it's fine to talk about Islam, okay? As you can see here, recent court ruling said right to criticise Islam is protected under British law. Now, with that being said, I'm not doing a big deep dive on Islam today because, to be frank, I don't want the death threats from the virgins, and I don't want to be going into hiding because people can't be criticised. If my channel gets bigger, I will happily do it. I will happily do it a lot. But right now, it's not worth it. So we're just going to touch the edges and talk about what these ginger jihadis do. Gingehadis. So, first of all, there was an article back in 2014 written by Milo Yiannopoulos. You know him. He was that really flamboyant blonde guy. He's straight now. Power of Christ. But essentially, in this article, they basically just said that of all the extremist Muslim converts in Britain, 76% of them were gingers. That's a lot, isn't it? Considering there's not that many gingers, them being the dominant amount of people in any sort of statistical group should raise alarm bells. I mean, I don't even know what the percentage of the population is. I think there's more. There's more Muslims in the UK now than there are gingers, that's for sure. They've got 6.5% Muslims. So, yeah, there's more. So, and actually in this article, we won't read the whole thing, but essentially it does actually say, A, they don't know why ginger people get bullied, but what they did find is that these people, they join Islam, they change their names to an Islamic name, and they usually go to the radical side of Islam, the jihadi part, which we'll cover in a bit later. Okay, so as you can see here, alienation, victimhood, and desire to visit revenge upon their communities makes bullied gingers the perfect recruits for extremist activities. There we go. Right, next thing I want to look at is an example of one of these ginger jihadis. So, gingerhead Muslim patrol member jailed for trying to enforce Sharia law on the internet on the streets of London blames the internet for turning him into an extremist. So, basically, what this guy did back around 13 years ago is he would go around with his Islamic buddies and they would basically try and enforce Sharia law on people. So that people like stop people from holding hands, stop people from kissing in public. Essentially, men who would drink and shout slag at women for walking with their boyfriend. Right? There you go. There's a picture of your ginger jihadi. Okay. He's now moderate Muslim, but what does that mean? So, there's another example. And most recently, Muslim convert convicted of planning a terror attack. So, as you can see here, self-styled Anglo jihadi, which doesn't make sense, has been found guilty of planning a terror attack. So, essentially, he just regularly said how he wanted to, unalive all the Jews. And essentially, he was caught with weapons, materials, and he had a crossbow, a knife, all this stuff, and he was going to carry out an attack. So, again, just kind of show you the mindset. Got somebody who's ostracized by society, gets introduced to this ideology that also wants to do harm to this society. It's the perfect mixture. So, that's gingers. That's their bringing, and that's them joining Islam. So, we're probably going to be thinking, okay, what is the jihadi aspect of it? Right. Well, let me just introduce you to this British imam cleric and see what he says about the subject.
Allah is not shy of the truth. We don't say that Islam is here to live, to coexist with lots of different religions and all of us can just hold hands and be friends. This religion was sent to dominate the world. It was sent to be superior, to extinguish the light of every other religion and to be superior to it. We're not shy to say it, and we don't find that to be something that we should be shy to say. That this religion has been sent to dominate, to wipe out, to take out every other religion, to eclipse it, to be superior to it, to have the people leave every religion and to accept Islam. And if that requires fighting to achieve it, then it requires fighting to achieve it. Because the greatest purpose for which jihad was legislated is to make the word of Allah the highest and the word of those who disbelieve the lowest.
So there you go, the horse's own mouth there. Jihad was essentially, asked Grok to get me a definition of it. It's essentially Muslim fanatic who basically wants to spread Islam across the world and use violence to do it. The actual word jihad means holy war, and essentially they will do whatever means they want to do it. Now, another fun thing to mention as well with jihadism is that obviously they believe that when they die, in the service of Islam, they get rewarded for it in heaven. So they think they get 72 virgins. Now, anyone with a working brain cell would probably say, if you're going to live for eternity in heaven, having 72 virgins is going to run out very quickly. But hey, to each their own, all right? That's just me. So I was thinking, well, if that sounds nice and all, but what is it about it is that's going to make the sort of ginger sort of virgin want to join? Well, essentially, they're saying that, when you die, you're going to get all these women, which sounds lovely. Considering you've had none in this life, having loads of women in the afterlife is going to be a really good incentive, isn't it? So, we're not talking about now. The jihadi spin, as you can see here. Jihadi recruiters love quoting the 72 Virgins hadith because it works as a good recruitment tool for sexually frustrated young men. ISIS propaganda magazines even ran articles titled "The Houris Await You," with glossy pictures of paradise virgins. The promise is used exactly as a carrot: die fighting, get instant sex with supermodel level beings who never age, never say no, and regenerate their virginity after every round. Okay, that's a very direct way of Grok to write it, so thank you. And then, Islam explicitly promises believing dozens of supernatural virgins created solely for sexual pleasure in paradise, plus upgraded versions for their earthly wives. Women get no equivalent reward. Well, as I said, the ginger women aren't getting involved here, so that's it. So I was thinking, okay, great. So you found a religion that sort of gives you that lustful desire to have whatever women you want. You get that by dying in the name of, jihad. Okay, what about on Earth? Because as we just saw in that other clip, they're talking about, having holy war, having wars, fighting to spread their religion. Well, in the Quran and in other subtexts, essentially, I'll just give you the preview of it. You can claim slaves to be your sexual partners. So you imagine that a bunch of jihadis kick off a war, let's say in Britain, and then they capture a bunch of people. Those women are essentially theirs to have. So let me just find you. And look, we went out with the Prophet on the expedition. We took some excellent Arab women as captives. We desired them, for we were suffering from the absence of our wives. But we also desired ransom for them. So we decided to have sexual intercourse with them, and then the Prophet said, "It is not lawful for a man who believes in Allah and the last day to water another man's field, impregnate another woman." Translation: you can have sex with captives, but if they're married to another man, you can't keep the kid. So you can do what you like with them, but you can't have the kid. And then, nope, a Muslim man cannot marry or have sex with a free Muslim woman unless she converts. And the only non-Muslim women he can have sex with are slaves/captives. So when you think about the grooming gangs, for example, it was fine for them because essentially those victims were their slaves and captives. So I'm not going to go into it too much more, but essentially that is everything I want to talk about today. So first of all, gingers, they get bullied. They get bullied a lot and they get ostracized from society. And then the ones who really struggle, if they end up joining Islam, they become radical. They go out there, harass people, might even try and have a terrorist plot because in their mind, it's warranted. When they die, they can get all the women they like. And if a war did kick off, they can claim slaves and captives as their own because, hey, why not? So that's gingehadis for you. So if you do know a ginger person who's probably on the left wing, struggles to get girls, and suddenly starts talking to you about the Quran or, some sort of holy war, might be worth sort of, give them a hug and say, hey man, don't do it because it's not what you think it is. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there today. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know I probably skirted around the edges there, but who cares? Like if you'd like, please do subscribe, tell your friends about it, but otherwise have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye.